it's Nadasha Elkerson, also known as Wifey on the Wifey Handbook page on Facebook, facebook.com/the Wifey Handbook, or the Wifey Life on Twitter. I wanted to talk to you a little bit today. Number one, because this is my first video, and I said I couldn't let another day go by in 2014 without making a video. So here I am. Don't judge. I wanted to talk a little bit about arguments today. I have been dealing with a lot of women that have been having a lot of big blow up arguments that seem to come out of nowhere and don't have anything to do with their relationship. So I wanted to try and show where those are coming from and how exactly to tone them down and make it so that you don't have to have as many big arguments all the time. I think the major problem with the difference between men and women is the fact that women are taught to express ourselves. We are taught to express our feelings. And we're taught to talk it out, and we're taught to work things out verbally. Well, men aren't really taught that as much. Yes, they are taught to say what they feel, but they're not taught to continue to try and work the problem out if the problem isn't working out just by talking. They are more action oriented as we are more verbally oriented. So what happens is if every day you have something on your heart, you're heavy hearted about something that he has done, something that he has said, and you say something about that every day. Of course, I understand you only want him to know about it. You want him to know about it and be aware and maybe start to try and change it. But the problem is if you say it to him and then you're saying it every single solitary day, what happens is, number one, you start to be like background noise. He doesn't really hear you. Because if everything is an emergency, then nothing is an emergency. And then number two, he starts to feel like you don't really love him. If you're so disappointed, if there's so much going wrong in the relationship, then you must not be right for each other. And he would rather leave you than make you be unhappy. So I want to try and start having you curb some of the things that you want to talk about. I want you to understand that you have to pick your battles, and it has to be a battle that's really worth it, that will extend a lot further than just this one day. So a couple of key things that you need to think about before you say something. Number one, does this need to be said? Now, you could say mean things to him if you wanted to, but if you're only saying something to him to make him feel how I felt, or to release some kind of anxiety that you're having, then that's probably not the right reason to say something. It's probably not a good thing to say to him. So things like, I hate your mother and you're just like her. That doesn't need to be said. I mean, if you're trying to be with this person for the rest of your life, you don't want them thinking that you hate their mother. Things like, my last boyfriend made more money than you. That's not something that needs to be said. That's going to be hurtful. It's just to let off a little steam from you. So you need to think about things before you say them. School your tongue and make sure that you understand that not everything that you say is worth listening to. All right, number two, does this need to be said, and does this need to be said by me? Now that's a key ingredient. Does it need to be said by me? Now, if it has something to do with his job, chances are it doesn't have anything to do with you. You don't go to his job with him. You don't work with him, chances are. So you wouldn't know what he needs to do better at his job. Don't try and tell him things about things that you have nothing to do with. That's going to start an argument. He's going to feel all persecuted, and he's going to feel like, well, what do you have to do with that? So, there are some things that you just don't say. Then there are things that do need to be said by you. Yeah. All right. If he's about to walk out of the door to a business meeting and his breath is hot, then yeah, that needs to be said, and that needs to be said by you. So, you don't want him going out into public and somebody else telling him, oh, dude, you need a breath mint. You don't want that to happen to him. If there's something going on that is that serious, you want him to know about it, and you want him to know about it from you. Number three, does this need to be said? Does this need to be said by me? And does this need to be said by me right now? Now that's a key ingredient too now. You have to have the timing down about what you're going to say. If he's just coming in the door and he has worked a full shift and he is exhausted and all he wants to do is sit down and veg out for a minute and play his video game and get something to eat and just come down and wind down off the day, then it's not the right time to attack him and say, well, uh, we have relationship issues that we need to talk about. It's not the right timing. Also, not the right timing is when you are having a good time together. You don't want to start talking about issues when you're having a good time, because what will happen is he'll stop wanting to have a good time with you. He's already figured out that you're going to talk about something bad every time we have a good time, so we're just not going to have good times. If we're going to complain, we're going to complain all the time. So those are three just basic things. Before you say anything, before you unload yourself, before you get whatever is on your heart off your heart, think about it for a moment. Does it need to be said? Does it need to be said by me? And does it need to be said by me right now? Um, you can get in contact with me at loveworthkeeping.com. You can sign up for my email, info@loveworthkeeping.com. And you can check me out on Facebook. I'm there just about every day, giving out free advice and talking to all the wonderful women that are my fans. I love y'all, by the way. Please like and share, and I'll check you out on the next video. Thanks.